Okay, we're here at the Tasty Minstrel Room at Gen Con, and Dan Keltner, one of the co-designers of Isle of Trains, is going to give us a little bit of a breakdown. Dan?
Alright, so this is Isle of Trains, and in this game, each player is working as a train operator, trying to build the best train and deliver goods to claim contracts. And those contracts are actually in the middle of the table here, and they form up the Isle of Trains, if you will, and you can see there's different contract cards here that require different goods to complete. And when you do those deliveries, you'll actually take these cards into your play area. But basically what you're doing, if you look here, each of the train cards, each of the cards that you have in your hand are different cars on a train. So we start with an engine, and the engine has a certain amount of power, a certain amount of victory points, and cost, and now you can, as part of your actions, you can build onto that train. So say for example on my turn, on your turn you get two actions. I can do a build action where I would build this tanker car right here. It costs a certain amount of cards from my hand, so I would have to discard cards from my hand. So this one would cost 2, so I'd have to discard 2 to build it. And now I built it on. You can see each train car actually has a weight that takes away from the power of the engine. So this engine has a power of 4, so it can handle up to 4 weight before it's at its capacity. So that's one of the actions that you can do, is you can build onto your train, add more train cars and so on. And each train car, when you build these other ones, they take a different type of good, like this would take oil. And when other players load oil on this tanker car, they can, in exchange for loading it, get 3 cards into their hand. So it's a mutual beneficial kind of thing here. I'm going to give you this good to load on your train, and in exchange for that, I'm going to get 3 cards, which will help me, to build something else or do another action on my turn. So that's one of the actions that you can do on your turn, is to build. You can also just take, which is take the top card from the draw deck. Like I said, another option is to load, and you can load on your train or other people's trains, but it's actually beneficial, like I said, to load on somebody else's train because you get the action. If you load on your own train, you don't get that benefit. You don't get the action. Okay. And so say somebody had loaded this onto the tanker car here, and so if you look at the cards here, they're multi-purpose cards. So not only are they a type of train car, they're also a good. So you can use them as that good, and you just slide it underneath the train car to load it as that type of good. And if, like I said, if you're doing that on somebody else's train, you get the benefit of that. So you would get to draw 3 cards from the deck.
Okay.
And so that's another action you can do, is load. And then the final action you can do is deliver. And when you deliver, basically you take any goods from your train, and then you discard them in exchange for one of these contracts that are in the middle. So you can see, if I had happened to have a train that had, let's just say here, a coal and an oil, then I could do a delivery action, and if I look over here at this Denton card right here, it takes a coal and an oil, and it gives me 4 points. So if I did a delivery action, I would take these 2 cards, the 2 goods, from my hand, and now I've claimed this contract card. And if you look at the contract card, not only can you do the front contract, it also unlocks, now that you've got that card, 2 potential secondary contracts on the back that are worth even more points. And they will require more goods to complete them. So you can see on this one, I could do a second contract to flip this card over and then get 13 points instead of the original 4 if I did another delivery with coal, 2 oil, and a box. Okay. Or I could do 2 coal and 2 oil. Okay. So this would go in my into my play area face up for now, but then if I did that other delivery, if I loaded my train some more and did other deliveries and met the conditions of that, I could flip it over.
So when you do a second delivery, then you flip it over?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, so it'd be a second, you'd have to reload your train back up, or other players would load your train back up until you've met the conditions of that secondary contract, and then you would do another delivery action later on in the game to flip it over. You can only ever have one of these in play at a time, so you can't take multiple front side contracts, the primary contracts, and work on them. You can only have one in play, and then when you've completed the secondary side of this, you actually slide it underneath your engine with the side that you did.
Oh, okay.
So like whichever side you completed under there,
Okay.
and now you can start working on a new contract.
Another one. Okay.
Okay. And that's that's the main end condition of the game.
Okay.
Is that if the number of players plus 2 delivery contract cards are gone from the middle.
Okay.
So if there's 4 players, all 6 cards are gone, and then everybody gets a final turn.
Gotcha.
And then that finishes the game.
Okay. Oh, great. Thanks, Dan. Appreciate it.
All right, no problem. Thank you, Joel.